Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Aqueduct, a Sunday of live racing action. The track is fast. Here are today's early scratches and changes at the Big A. Race 1 is the start of the early pick 5. Rider change on the 3, make it him and Harkey. In race 2, start of the early pick 4. Scratch the 5, Strange Fruit. Scratch the 5 in today's second. Race 3, start of the middle pick 4 is clear. No changes. Race 4, start of the pick 6 is clear. No changes in today's fourth. Race 5, start of the late pick 5. Scratch the 2 Idaka. Scratch the 8 Via Regia. Scratch the 2 and the 8 in race 5. Race 6, start of the late pick 4. Scratch the 1 Patrick the Great. Scratch the 1 in race 6. In race 7, scratch the 1 Handsome Cat. Scratch the 4 Motion to Strike. Scratch the 1 and the 4 in race 7. Race 8, scratch the 4 Uno. Scratch the 4 Uno in today's 8th. And in race 9, scratch the 1A Sways in My DNA. Scratch the 1A in today's 9th. Race 1, just around the corner, 75 minutes away. The track is fast. Coming up next, we'll be talking horses with your hosts, the Big A, Anthony Stabile, and Sarah El Badwi. Good luck.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Super Sunday edition. Can't say anymore. This is the Super Sunday edition of Talking Horses. Big A Anthony Stabile, not Andy Serling. I know that's a shocker to most of you. That is Sarah El Badwi.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
It's our first show together.
I'm excited.
Haven't come up with a nickname yet. Acacia and I are the A-Train.
Right.
Maggie and I are Magany. We'll figure it out.
We'll find something,
Yes.
I'm sure, in some period of time.
It'll take a little. It took Magany.
We'll figure it all out.
The A-Train was kind of natural very early on.
Right.
Magany took a while. It was actually by accident.
Really?
Maggie just came back and she was just like, it's Magany. Most people when they're with me say it's agony, so Magany, I guess, was just kind of natural.
We'll figure something out.
We will,
But
yes.
excited to be on with you and looking forward to talking about today's card. And we agree in some places, we disagree in others. So as long as, Andy's not here, I'm sure that you're just kind of like,
Yeah, we'll have fun. Sorry, Andy. We were going to take one swing against the big favorite. Horse came out, such is life. 9-race card, lots to get to, lots to talk about. We're going to have some fun today. We got a couple of fun names to mess around with later. You may even get a song or two out of me. If you want the songs, though, we're going to barter. You have to go to Naira Bets. You can play any track, any place, at any time. $200 deposit match bonus. Match 200's the promo code. Head on over, nairabets.com. What else we got, boys and girls? Ooh, I like this one. This is one of my favorite promotions. Late pick 5. This is a $5,000 hit and split. This is cash, not points. $2,500 in each pool. Late pick 5 here and at Oaklawn. You're going to catch most of that action. We'll talk about America's Day at the races later. But that's $2,500 in each of those pools. Late pick 5 here, late pick 5 at Oaklawn. Got to opt in over at Naira Bets. My favorite day of the year. The Test of the Champion, Saturday, June 10th this year. The Belmont Stakes, the Beast returns 3 weeks before the Belmont Stakes. Beast will have a new hip for the Belmont Stakes this year. Tickets are on sale now. Head to BelmontStakes.com. If you haven't checked out the TikTok of Acacia and I, and you need a little chuckle on this Sunday, go take a look over at the Instagram, the TikTok, the Twitter. It was a lot of fun doing that a few weeks ago with Gabby, our head of social media. And then, of course, America's Day at the Races, 2 to 5 on FS2. Greg, myself, and Khaleesi, Maggie Wolfendale, will be down in the paddock for the 3 hours. We will cover races 4 through 9 here. That's the pick 6. And most of the action down at Oaklawn on this Sunday afternoon. All right, Sarah, let's get to it. The opener, got a few maiden races on the card today. 6.5 furlongs for the 6 maidens in here. Sarah goes to the outside runner, Trevor Bardet. We'll take a look at Trevor Bardet in his last try back on January 21st. This was just 9 days after finishing off the board. First time in for a quarter. Why don't you talk about him?
So this horse was one that was contesting that early pace, as you can see here, as he's the number 3 horse, and McCart also comes out of this race, but he's the one towards the rail, the number 1 horse closing in. This guy, he won the battle, he lost the war, he just got scooped up at the end by this winner. And I just wanted a horse that's had less chances to disappoint. This was his first time in for a tag. He's in for the tag again today, draws the outside with some outside speed. And if you're not defaulting right to that favorite in Steerage, who makes a ton of sense, so I know you picked On Top. This was just really the only other one that I wanted. Those first-time starters, they look okay, but they didn't stand out too much just looking at them on paper. So this was kind of where I ended up with just a lighter raced horse that could just be the best of the rest today.
Difficult to make a case for anybody other than Trevor Bardet and Steerage. I could not agree with you more. Jose Gomez's first mount as a journeyman. He's obviously ridden without the bug in the past on singular occasions, a stakes race, a race where maybe another journeyman was named and Jose was open, but this is his first day as a journeyman. We wish him the best of luck. Very tough to make that transition, especially on this circuit, the toughest circuit arguably in the country, if not the world. We wish Jose the best of luck. And yeah, he makes a lot of sense as the one who, quite frankly, of the two, him and Steerage are just disappointed least. Steerage drops down, lowest claiming price of his career. For Bruce Brown, who had a winner on Friday. Manny Franco going to climb aboard. Steerage for the first time. I just went with him. He's getting back on dry ground for the first time since November. and cutting back in distance. I'm sorry, he was cutting back in distance from that day. He was going a mile that day. He's sprinting for the third consecutive time, but again, back on fast ground. I will go with steerage and take this time to tell you that I cannot wait to be back in Nove in 5 months for my man, Louis Lazanaro, who's part owner of Steerage. On to the second. This is the race where Sarah and I were both going to swing with the number 5, Strange Fruit, who's not going to play today. So it leaves us with a field of 6 and an overwhelming favorite. So Sarah is going to be the brave one of the group. I'm not surprised by that. She's still going to try to swing against the big favorite in 2 redheads with the number 6, Cause I'm Elegant.
Yeah, this is not a strong opinion here. Strange Fruit, someone said earlier, now that she's scratched, it's forbidden fruit, and I thought that that was so kind of like bad funny that I had to say it again.
Okay.
So, Cause I'm Elegant is going in for her 3rd lifetime start. She got really bumped at the gate last time and just kind of made a little bit of a move late, but this favorite that we have here is dropping in class and makes so much sense. And I actually wanted to take a look at the start of her last race when she was actually trying dirt for the first time, because she had a pretty legitimate stumble. You can see in here she's the number 1, going down to her knees in the mud in there. She recovers pretty quickly, gets her forward position going, and then the decision is actually made to swing her all the way towards the outside, as you're going to see in just a moment, get her clear of that kickback, or we're not going to say, but she gets to the outside and then she goes to the top of the stretch here. She's now in the clear. She's trying to make up some ground on this more experienced rival who was running away, and she just makes so much sense. I don't blame people if they want a single in this spot. I took a small shot against, but it would not surprise me whatsoever if she wins very easily in here.
Yeah, I mean, this is just, to me, it was a logical spot. Linda just decides to drop her to win. She kind of is what she is. She got beat 5 lengths in the special weight race. If she's, maybe there's a special weight race with her name on it, I think you take a little bit of the, of that question out of it by dropping her in here. She's found the right bunch. I wonder if they lose her today for the 40,000. There were, by my count, about 22 claims dropped on yesterday's card.
Wow.
And
none by you.
None. I would have thought about dropping on one, and there's just a lot of claiming going on around here.
Right.
There's a lot of claiming going on across the country. I think a lot of places is just they're horse poor right now. People are claiming horses, so maybe she gets dropped on today. She could lose her friend today because she's going to be with Strange Fruit out. And I think Strange Fruit was the only horse that I had any real interest in trying to take a shot with this horse against. With her out, I mean, she's destined for 1 to 2 or 3 to 5 today now on the tote board. She's a very likely winner. I was not brave enough to take a shot against her. Sarah was. Cause I'm Elegant for Sarah. I will take the chalk in 2 redheads. Kicks off the
Early pick 4.
early pick 4, yes, race number 2. I was confused with that because we did not run a slate for the middle pick 4 today, which kicks off here in race number 3. Sorry about that, folks. We've got to remind you of that middle pick 4 on the non-race card start in race number 3. And it just so happens to be our feature, the Broadway. Neon lights are bright on Broadway. A field of 6 New York bred fillies and mares. And I'll tell you what, we have a couple of really, really nice. We really have all 6 of these fillies and mares have. They are a testament to this state bred program. They're all open winners. They've, most of them are stakes winners. We're going to look at 2. They happen to run 2-3 in an open stakes race here back on December 3rd on Cigar Mile Day in the Go for Wand. We're going to see Bank Sting and Betsy Blue running 2-3 behind
Dr. B.
Thank you. I'm stumbling today a little bit. Behind Dr. B. And they have just been 2 Hickory mares who combined have earned over $1.5 million.
These are such hard-knocking horses that you have to have so much respect for, even if you're not picking them all the time or you're trying to beat them or whatever because they'll be shorter prices. But these are the horses that they show up, they run their races, they're so consistent, and now they're going to be facing off against each other yet again. And I couldn't really separate the 2 a lot. They both have a legitimate shot to win this race. I would not be surprised by either of them whatsoever. I took one teeny tiny shot against with the number 5, Funny How, who is looking to win. Her 5th race in a row has just been winning like crazy, and she is stepping up to face much tougher company than she has been before. But I like that she has some tactical speed in this short field, which can really be to her advantage. You know that she's liking to win races. She's won at this distance before, and maybe she can work out the right kind of trip in here with Banksting and Betsy Blue, who we don't really see either of them on the lead all that often as confirmed front runners. I know that you had a little show tune November Rain thing going on here.
I mean, it's one of the classic rock songs of all time. Has one of the greatest lyrics of all time, right? Never mind the darkness, we still can find a way. I mean, that guy pours his heart out for 6 minutes. He's still standing in the middle of the ring, just willing to take shots. He's still waiting around for her. Some would say he's a real fool.
Would you say that he's a fool?
I would not say he's a fool.
No.
No, I would not. Very good, Sarah. Good setup. I like Sarah.
I'm here for you.
I like Sarah, folks. You can make a case for November Rain, who beat both
Yes.
Banksting and Betsy Blue. I think you could make a case for Know It All Audrey. I mean, you're taking a horse in Funny How, who you could absolutely make a case for 4 in a row. Know It All Audrey, since the Oscar Barrera claim from Rob Atras, more often than not, you would be saying that the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
She has been amazing. 3 for 5, 2 seconds in those 2 defeats.
She lost to Venti Valentine. I mean,
One
you
of
have
them,
to
right?
respect.
Yeah, one of them came to Sweet Mystery when she was going well, off just 17 or 18 days later, and then the other loss comes to a multiple stakes winner, an open stakes winner in Venti Valentine. Honey Money would be a little tough to make.
But she's going out for this barn that's been heating up lately. So, I mean, you could make a case for anyone in here.
Rob Atras' barn has been 1-2 with 65% of his runners at the meet. So, I mean, it is a wide open race. I went with my old friend Banksting. I have pets. Andy would make fun of me.
You do? I do too.
Mean, there are races where
bad.
I almost don't have to handicap this race. I see
know that-
Banksting
you
and I
know
pick her.
them all.
I mean, but in all kidding aside, November Rain from the rail, you would imagine is going to go. I would imagine Know It All Audrey, where her success has been forward, going 7/8, she'll be forward. And I imagine Banksting. This is kind of her wheelhouse. Half of her 8 career wins have come going 7/8, and I think that's because she gets to work out the right kind of trip going to 7/8. They're, in a way, they're playing her game today. And Betsy Blues. I put the favorites 1-2. I would imagine they're going to be very similar prices. I didn't try to get cute. I'm glad you did, because Funny How, Know It All Audrey both have a license to kind of step up in here. I know Betsy Blue, Linda's had a very ambitious campaign planned out for her. A couple of other spots. I know that Distaff is the long-term goal. If 2 months from now is long-term, that's the long-term kind of goal. This should be a real fun race. Looking forward to the Broadway. It goes as race 3 on the night race card kicks off that middle pick 4 this afternoon. Race number 4, the maidens are going to go 9 furlongs here at the Big A. We have a field of 7. Let's go back to January 19th. A handful of them led by Proven Hope, who was second that day. The number 6 today, your 7-5 morning line favorite, is going to finish second, a long way behind the winner.
Yes, and he's the one that I feel as though he's the most likely winner of this race. But Anthony, this is a rough group. This is a rough group to try to dive into. And there's a lot of horses that have done a lot of disappointing at short prices, particularly the one all the way to the outside in North Pole. With Proven Hope, I mean, he's going to be a short price. He's at least going to be involved. You can kind of think that he might be the best of the rest of these horses. But I thought that if you like Proven Hope, you can make a very small case for the number 2 Golden Purchase, who finished a long way back, 3rd to him at a huge price, 2 back for him. I really don't know that he wants to go 1 mile and an 1/8. I really don't know that he's that good, but I don't really know that anybody in here is that good. So I thought that maybe I would try to get cute with a little bit of a price in this field where I'm really tired of a lot of these horses.
We had an open winners race going 159 for the 9 furlongs the other day. That might be in jeopardy with this bunch of maidens. And listen, that's not,
Snails.
they are what they are.
Yeah.
I came dangerously close to picking North Pole today.
I would have yelled at you.
And then I realized that they would have sent the white goats for me.
You just can't.
That would have been between the November Rain lyric and picking North Pole. They would have come for me.
Yeah.
So I decided that I wanted to stay out a little while longer. So I put Proven Hope on top. I thought about Lefty's War. You know, for the same reason, Lefty's War has the one race going 9. It was up at Saratoga. It was with a pair of blinkers. Those blinkers obviously did not help. You know, the race 2 back was okay. I don't know what happened last time, but it's just, you know, he was 70 to 1, 68.5 to 1 that day when he ran second. You know, it was almost like where did that race come from? That 67 buyer sticks out like really like a sore thumb on the card. You know, I do wonder though if North Pole and Frankie Pennington just go to the lead today and forget to stop. That can happen. That absolutely, I know that sounds crazy, but that absolutely positively can happen in here. Mike Maselli won a race yesterday. So he's won a couple of races at the meet now. That barn that was awfully quiet, starting to heat up a little bit. And you know, when barns like that do start to heat up, you got to be careful, especially in races like this, where, like you said, this is a hungry bunch of horses. You're not going to find a hungrier bunch of horses than this. And maybe this is the day North Pole gets out of the maiden ranks. I don't know. Be curious to see who does graduate. Race number 4 kicks off today's pick 6 without a carryover. We'll break after race number 5. It kicks off the late pick 5, the Crossroads race. Again, that promotion, $2,500 hit and split. This pick 5 that kicks off in race 5, the late pick 5 and the late pick 5 down at Oak Lawn Park today. 6 furlongs for the 3 life claimers. The 2 and 8 come out. Leave us with another field of 6. Sarah and I finally agree. London Gold, a little bit of a price in here. We'll go back to January 29th, where London Gold and a handful of these faced off in this condition. London Gold going to finish second this day.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that this one would be the one that's forwardly placed out of the rest of these horses. Swedish Sugar makes a lot of sense, but this is a horse that has disappointed a lot at a short price before, and this was my little shot against that horse if you don't like her, or the 5, the Cupids. What is this? Charismatic Cutie with the spelling that gives me a headache. But London Gold, I thought, just made sense as the alternative to these two. There were a couple other horses in this race that'll run back in here. I didn't really want either of them, but what do you think about London Gold? Do you have any fun thoughts to add, or was it mostly just the small shot?
I would imagine Swedish Sugar's going to go to the lead, and I would imagine that Jose is just going to, boy, you're going to try and get Jose Gomez a 3-bagger on his first day as a journeyman, huh? I just realized this. Good for you. I'm a big fan of his as well. I think this horse is supposed to trip out. You know, with Idaka out of here, and I know Idaka was nowhere near as fast as Swedish Sugar. Swedish Sugar is just supposed to lead them on a merry chasing here. I just don't trust Swedish Sugar now. Swedish Sugar kind of dueled on the front end last time. I don't imagine that's her destiny today. She's supposed to get in front here. I just wanted an alternative to her. I hate, Sarah, betting these horses in these condition claiming races. You know, I think yesterday was a great example. In the race Captivating Cara won by the length of the stretch. The Rudy horse whose name's escaping me. I mean, she didn't run 2 steps.
Oh, Holiday
Jazz. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
She's a great example. I got sucked into her yesterday, and she didn't run 2 steps. You don't really want to take these. There's a reason these horses are in these condition claiming races.
Right.
You don't really want to take, and so, you know, going to take a little shot with a horse who, listen, there's some randomness to Randy's barn, but Randy's horses have been running a little bit more consistently lately, and this horse will be a square enough price, probably somewhere in the 4 to 1 range, where I wanted to take a little shot with this horse. If you're playing that late pick 5, I think you'd be remiss leaving out Swedish Sugar, obviously. You don't want to go dead getting beat by a horse that's going to probably be somewhere in the even money range, maybe even lower now. And she should be. She's the horse to beat.
She is.
You hate to identify horses in these condition claiming races as horses to beat, but she's the horse to beat. But she'll be a short price, and we'll both try to beat her with London Gold. That's the first 5. We will take a break and come back with late pick 4 here on this Super Sunday at the Big A.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
Thanks to our friends at Saratoga Water, make every day exquisite. We like to think we do around here. The Big A, Sarah El Badwi, taking you through a Super Sunday edition of Talking Horses. Late pick 4 time here at Aqueduct. Race number 6 kicks things off. More condition claimers. Go a mile here, take out the solid 1, Patrick the Great. Leaves in the 1A. Bourbon's Hope was going to be a big favorite in here. Boy, I realized this just now. I should have brought my, I used to walk around, when I was a lot heavier, I used to walk around with a towel, regardless of the time of year.
Little.
Just to towel it off. Today I could have
Like
used
you're
it to
on
wipe
the tennis court, somebody's there to help you out.
Because I play a lot of tennis.
Yeah. I'll remember next time and I'll help you out.
I appreciate it.
I don't
Thank
have
you.
any towels for you today.
No
though.
towels today?
I have
Yeah,
some paper.
I forgot my handkerchief home.
That's all we got.
Yeah.
You'll make it.
I'll be okay.
You'll be all right.
I could always run home too. I live like a mile and a half from here.
Oh, yeah, I've got it. You can, if you got to go.
You got it. I could have used the towel today to wipe all the chalk off of my face. Bourbon's Hope on the board at 8-5. BC Glory Days is where Sarah is going to land. Let's take a look back, though. Where are we going? We're going back to January 21st. Kong Loves a Fight. Now, Phoebe's Frosty has come back since to win a 3rd race in a row. And here is Kong Loves a Fight a long way behind Phoebe's Frosty. BC Glory Days is in here as well.
Yeah, I mean, Phoebe's Frosty has really been putting it together lately, and BC Glory Days, who's the number 4, who's in 2nd right now, did actually take the lead for a little bit at the top of the stretch before Phoebe's Frosty was kicking away. I thought that BC Glory Days could move forward off of that performance in here. Kong Loves a Fight usually likes to come from a little further out of it. I think Give Me Back My Bullets has some speed, but I mean, if you're trying to beat Bourbon's Hope, I think you want a horse that has a different running style than that one. I think you want to go with horses that are going to be up close early, and that's what led me to this one. But Kong Loves a Fight.
Is that a philosophy, by the way?
What?
Of yours?
Which one?
If you're going to beat
I don't
like
have
a
any
big
rules.
Okay. I don't ordinarily either, but that's one that I kind of tinker with.
Yeah.
If you're going to try to beat a heavy favorite, you want to kind of do it with a horse that does not have a similar style. You got to have to kind of do it. If a horse is 3-5, he's 3-5 for a reason, right?
Sure.
And he's probably going to dominate you with his style or her style. If you're going to try to beat them, I ordinarily try to do it with a horse that has if not the opposite style, a different style.
Right, something that's going to challenge them in some way or is going to be
Right.
different than how they're trying to run away a race. But
That's right too, by the way. You're not supposed to have any. There's no rules.
you can't have rules. Everything's changing all the time. I mean, like there are some things that I'll look at or angles that I like that I've been successful with, but I don't think there should be any rules. And I think anybody that tries to tell you this is the rule or this is the only way you should
I
do
agree.
it, they don't know what they're talking about. But we do. So
We do, yeah.
you went to the favorite with Bourbon's Hope. What did you like about this one?
I just
other
couldn't.
than
I just couldn't
look past.
Nothing made. It just didn't make any sense. He ran so much better last time back on the drop. You know, it's weird. These conditioned races, you have to be very careful when you handle these when you handicap these conditioned races, because there will be times when trainers will run these horses interchangeably for the price tag. The price tag might not matter sometimes if a more expensive or a cheaper race, especially on the raise, because they'll feel like, all right, well, the horse ran well for 16. If I run this horse for 40, it's not going to be that much tougher of a race, and they're far less likely to get claimed, because in all likelihood, if they don't run that well, they're going to be back in for the cheaper price the next time. So there's a level of protection while still in for the tag in that race. This horse ran awful for the 40,000, but came back in 3 weeks and kind of ran one of the faster figs he'd ever run in his life. Against the horse in Prince of Joy, who came out of the Phoebe's Frosty race, and he looked like he was every bit the winner at the 5/16 pole. You wanted every dollar in your pocket on Prince of Joy on Friday. But Phoebe's Frosty came back along the inside. So, yeah, I mean, but I agree with you. If someone in here is going to beat Bourbon's Hope today, I would imagine it's BC Glory Days, who I love the rider switch to Katie Davis. I think Katie can get this horse to relax. She does a very good job at getting horses who have natural speed and can be close to kind of melt into her hands a little bit. Yeah, I almost picked her as well, but I just the other filly's fit, the other horse's fig was just a little too high for me. So I'm using 1s and 2s in the late pick 5 and the late pick 4. And if Kong loves a fight beats me, Kong loves a fight beats me. That's how I kind of feel. He was kind of filler for me. He'd have to run so much better than he's run in the past to beat both of them.
I think that he has to get the setup because he likes to come from off of it. So you have to think that there's more speed early for him to close into. And then he also has to be the better closer, and I don't think he is.
Right.
So
he's got to run down BC Glory Days and then outkick Bourbon's Hope, and I don't think both of those things are happening. So it's 1s and 2s for me. Race number 6 kicks off that late pick 4. On to race number 7. Open quarter claimers. Old hard knocking group of quarter claimers. Going to go 6 furlongs here. We have a scratch the solid 1 and Handsome Cat and a 4 Motion to Strike. I like Motion to Strike today. I like Motion to Strike a lot today. He was like one of my only quirky selections. Do I scratch into another favorite? I do. No, second choice. I don't know what's going to happen how this board shakes out now with Handsome Cat coming out. So you wind up with Caribbean.
I do. I mean, this one ran well last time with Maddie Oliver aboard, she's been riding really well. I know she just recently got her first win, but this one was third in the last race and came from very far back. I thought that there would be some speed in this race. I know that Motion to Strike was likely going to be a part of that, is now not here. But I mean, you still have Print Track to the outside who has some speed. You have Ragtime Blues who has some speed. And this race for Ragtime Blues last time that we can show, I mean, that horse was really involved with other pace setters early on and still was able to keep going towards the end of the race, wasn't able to quite make it happen. I had one question about this horse, but it's kind of the exact same thing we talked about just in the last race. If they claim this horse for a certain price tag for the $32,000, why are we in for the $25,000 tag? But like you mentioned, if you get the win and you get the purse, or if you get the win and the purse, that's the same thing. But if you also have the horse claimed away from you, then you're also not really losing anything. I don't think it's that big a deal. It's not like a sudden drop from like 50 to 16. Right. It's not that kind of differentiator, but that was kind of like, Linda's so sharp with claiming. Why are we going in for a little less? You don't think it really matters too much?
27.5 if the horse wins. 25 for the claim, so that's 52.5, 32. So you're looking at making 20,000. She's had the horse 2 months. So she'll make about 12,000, 10,000.
That's okay.
After owner you're eking out a little bit of a profit if this horse wins and gets claimed today. I want to say this horse was a vet scratch a couple of weeks back, if I'm not mistaken. This horse was entered at least once and came out. This was, again, I scratched into this horse. I feel like he's probably been running against better.
That's fair. Yeah.
And that's really, I don't have a great argument for him. I wanted to, Motion to Strike, I thought ran so well first time against open winners last time that I wanted to give him one more chance, maybe trying to win the speed at a speed battle in here. He's not going to play. I scratch into this horse. I think, with Motion to Strike coming out, it probably hurts Caribbean's chances. I was going to try and get him home, but I was going to spread. Caribbean was the live long shot in here, the fuzzy, if you will. His chances are hindered a little bit now, but maybe there's still enough pace in here for him. Senor Job, he's the interesting one, but he's going to be a short price now. Probably going to be a shorter price than he would have been had Motion to Strike. I mean, Motion to Strike was 6-1 morning line. He's probably going to come down a bit. Jacobson scratches the other part of the entry, leaves this one in. Another one of these horses that Johnny Wong had out in California. This horse was originally a Steve Asmussen horse for Stone Street in the Go Back machine.
Do you think he even remembers?
Probably not. He's not. You know what's funny? I thought this horse was like 5 or 6 years old. He's 9.
He's 9.
He's
been a long time since he's been with that barn.
Yeah, a long time. I don't know what to do with him. Print Rack. There was a time and place, and it wasn't that long ago where Print Rack was the speed of the speed in here. But his last couple of races where he still has some gas early, those Parks races, it's so hard to. It's the wrong word to use, but it's so hard to believe they're going that fast down there because.
Well, to think it'll transfer effectively over
Yeah.
here. I mean, sometimes it can, but most of the time it really doesn't.
doesn't.
So it's hard to know what to do with those horses. But I mean, Printrack is one that I kind of considered putting on top.
Yeah.
But I just don't know that he's as fast as he used to be. And I saw other speed, especially with motion to strike. I mean, I guess if he's aggressive, and Jose Gomez is going to be my hero today and gets him going forward early. But I think Ragtime Blues, with the kind of race that he can run, maybe he stalks just a little bit, or maybe he ends up being the speed. But yeah, this entry I wasn't in love with, and Caribbean is the price that I wanted to take a chance with in case there is some of that speed early. So.
Interesting race number 7. As we move on to the late double, State Bred Allowance horse is going to go a flat mile here. Take out the number 4, Uno. He will not be participating this afternoon. We will go back. Actually, we're going to head down the I-95. We're going to head down to Laurel. Late Night Larry. Everybody, Larry from In Front Racing's upstairs in the Horseman's Lounge, hanging out before the big game today. Late Night Larry got it done in a 3 life. He ran out of his, he ran out of condition last time, in fact. He won the 3 life down at Laurel for Brittany Russell. Manny Franco, who got the job done in the Withers yesterday, climbs aboard this son of Not This Time. In fact, this horse has run 5 times. This will be his 6th start with his 5th different rider.
Yeah, I mean, this one, if that Laurel form can transfer over, again, it's always a question with these out-of-towners. I thought he just made a lot of sense in this spot. I thought that he would sit close early on, and I thought that he was going to be one that I wanted in here a little bit over the number 1, Joey Loose Lips. But the number 5, Storied Fella, is one that I think is a little bit more intriguing now with the scratch of Uno, because this horse was ridden very aggressively last time to get the win at a big price. And I think that that was a situation where really saying no, like, I am the one that is going, I'm going to be in front, which this rider did, Jorge Vargas Jr. He controlled the race, and he was able to use that speed to his advantage. And I wonder if that's going to happen this time. These are better horses. There's other speed in here. But I think that that kind of tactic can pay off in a race like this if you just make a decision and you stick to it, instead of, are you going to go? Are you going to go? Are we going to go? What's the case going to be?
And I mentioned this yesterday on the show. Andy and I were joking around about how you hear these stories after the race, of course. And this horse had tieback surgery. And
This one?
Yeah. This was the
Before
one
the
I was
race?
talking about yesterday. I didn't hear about it before the race. I heard about it after the race when he paid $46.
Oh.
And when that was one of those races where you could have, that was like, I wanted to bring the bingo drum to try to figure out that race. I wound up picking, I think I might have picked the Rudy horse that Linda claimed out of there, Mo Rewards, who ran 3rd.
yeah.
I may have picked him or another like bad middling priced horse that just didn't run 2 steps.
So that could be also a part of why.
Yeah, and they just let him run from the rip last time. So yeah, I mean, with all of that said, assuming that he's going to go again, Joey Loose Lips stretching out from 7 furlongs to a mile under the gun from the rail with Jose Gomez, who we think there's a chance he's going to win 7 or 8 today. He's in the mix all day.
Have we ever just talked about a jockey all day?
It's amazing.
I mean, not we, because this is our first time.
He's a wonderful young man. He's a really good rider, and I hope to see him succeed. Listen, it would be nice to see an apprentice take the step forward. Dave Grenning and I were talking the other day. I think it was yesterday morning. We were the clocker stand over at Belmont. 3 7-pound apprentices won races on Thursday or Friday. I don't ever remember that happening. It's because finding the 7-pound that's a barren land. The 7-pound apprentice having 3 here at one time, it's about 5, yes.
Sure.
10s, the 7. You're more likely to find 3 10s than 3 7s. So, it's a nice little colony, and we'll see what he can do. With all of that speed, I got a little goofy in here. And I went to Son of an X. Blinkers go on for Randy. These are the races Randy kind of wins, where there looks like there could be a little mixing up on the front. I wish Uno was still in here. I would have liked this horse a little bit more if Uno was still here to really assure some sort of a pace. I know this horse's biggest race came on a wet track, but since he's come back from the layoff, he has not really seemed to handle these wet tracks. Maybe Randy's just running him into shape, something Randy can do on occasion. The blinkers go on. Maybe this horse just needed to run at the shape. He'll catch a fast track for the first time. I hope he comes running late, cut back to the one. He's got the 1-turn mile again. I'm going to try him at a little bit of a price. I'm going to spread in here. I'm going to use 1, 3, 7, 8. Even Saflo's Mission, I thought was a little interesting, stretching out. This was the kind of race where I just kind of wanted a little bit of everyone in here. Saflo's Mission kind of ran in spots last time, and that's weird to say for a horse that's run almost 10 times in his career already. But he kind of ran and then he backed up and he came running again. It was a very, very strange effort last time from him.
Yeah, I just thought that Linda is so sharp with her horses. Why haven't we stretched him out yet?
Fair enough.
But I mean, maybe just trying something new with this horse, and horses can change. I mean, some horses might prefer certain things earlier on in their careers, and you can find that you can do other things with them later, or you might find that they prefer something by mistake. So
I wonder if the layoffs have stopped that from happening too, Sarah. She ran the horse the first time off the bench, then she tried the horse on the turf, then he broke his maiden, and after he broke his maiden, she only got to run him one time on Belmont Day, and then he back to the bench for 6 months.
Right.
Maybe, circumstances stopped that. So that's the other reason I wanted to throw him in. I'll give him one more chance in that pick 4, pick 5 ticket. Finale here on the Sunday, last race of the week. More maiden claimers, 6.5 furlongs. We're going to take a look at Supercoach Fred. He's actually the last one left from the January 20th maiden race that we're going to see here. Iya finally found 4 others that he was able to manhandle on the front end and just keep on going. This horse, credible second, had to deal with a muddy seal track in its debut. And he's likely, he'll get a fast track today. And if he gets that nominal improvement from debut to second start, he'll probably find himself in a winner's circle today.
he definitely could. I love that you said finally about Iya, because this was a horse that had always shown that early speed, and he would just stop. He would absolutely just stop. And so I was really against him last time because we'd seen over and over again that he would just disappear. He forgot to do that this day. Short field, there were a lot of scratches in that race. Supercoach Fred was the only first-time starter, ran at him a little bit, but Supercoach Fred has every right to improve in this second start. He wouldn't surprise me completely, but this was a race where I waffled around a little bit, and I was like, I didn't love Iya, so I was going to try to say, well, if I don't like the horse that beat him, I don't really want him at a short price.
Fair enough.
If he wins, I get it. I totally do. But I wanted to get a little bit more creative in here. Not that Peros, the number 7, is that much more creative, but he had a little bit of traffic last time. Maybe he can improve now in here. The horse that there's a couple horses in here that are a little confusing or don't really make sense, or you kind of wonder why they're here. And the Chad Brown horse is one of those for me with financial strength. First time gelding, he ran on the turf in a maiden special weight, first out. He did really no running, but this is a practical joke that they tried on the turf. The dam side of the family is very dirt oriented. Now we don't see him for a long time, and he's in for the tag. Maybe he just can't run at all, but if he's not the favorite, maybe you want to take a little shot with him. The number 8, Bellicosa, also trying the dirt for the first time. You could make a little bit of a case for this one. Maybe, Filly against the boys. This could be a price that you want to play around with. You have the number 4, Chess Spectacular, who's getting all of the changes. We got the blinkers, we got the first time gelding, we have the drop in class. I mean, this one could wake up with all of those changes. So I wanted to see if there was some sort of alternative that you could come up with for Supercoach Fred, but he's also very lightly raced. And
for the Beastie Boy fans, you got Brass Monkey.
Yeah.
That funky monkey.
There we go. We've got it all.
A little bit of everything in the
Ready
finale.
to grab the mic and do some singing today or something.
Yeah, we could. I mean, karaoke Sunday here at the Big A. Great job.
Thanks. You
really
too.
Good. We'll
you
do it
did
again.
A good job
We'll
too.
do it again soon. Thank you very much. We'll figure out a nickname for the Big A and Sarah. Play something off the last name, I think. I think
We'll
that's
make
where
it
we'll have
work.
to go there.
Yeah.
All right. Head over to Naira Bets. That's all you have to do. Don't worry about nicknames or anything like that. NairaBets.com. Any track, any place, anytime. Match 200's the promo code. Get in on all of the action this afternoon and any afternoon and evening for that matter. What's next? Middle pick 4. Look at that. Look at that. Good job, boys and girls. Starts in race 3 today, so we have pick 4s in races 2, 3, and 6 on the 9-race card. Pick 6 starts in race number 4. That pick 5 promo with Oaklawn,